Hey everybody, Christopher T. Nutrition here. T stands for taco. Some of you already got your books in. Now I was going to wait until I got, I have rats jumping around behind me. I ordered some more for me so that I could cut along with you on this video. But since some of you already have your books, I'm going to teach you how to cut them right now, even though I don't have ones that I can cut along with you. But it's so easy. I'm going to actually teach you how to cut all of the books in this one video because the Costume World catalog it'll take me 30 seconds to teach you. So if you don't have this one, if you're going to only be cutting this one, just skip ahead about, I don't know, a minute and you'll be able to start there. So all you're going to do when you get your book, you're going to have a picture of a caveman and then Superman and then a pirate and then Superman, and then a cowboy, and Superman. Oh, you get the idea. Every other page is Superman. All you do is cut only the Superman pages. And what you're going to do is cut about 1/4 of an inch all along the edge of that page. So just a strip right off the end, about 1/4 of an inch. I just cut a little example for you. This is my example. So basically that would be right there, and I cut it off. And you do that on the first Superman page, skip the pirate, and then the next Superman page, same thing, just cut that same strip off the edge of that page. So every single Superman page is like a Svengali deck. Every single page is cut just a little shorter than the other pages. What that does is when I flip this way, because the Superman pages are cut short, my thumb passes right by them. And all we get are the random costumes. But if you flip the other way, from back to front, it's all Superman. And when you want to force something, what you do is you hold the spine toward the audience, you tell somebody to tell you when to stop, and you just flip like this. And I'm flipping from back to front, so it doesn't matter where they tell me to stop, it's going to be Superman. So that's the first book. Second book is exactly the same, maybe even easier, because every other page is a clown. So you have a clown, Superman, ignore the clowns. Don't do anything to the clown pages. And then again, all you do, every Superman page, just cut, oh, I dropped it up there. Just cut that same strip, about 1/4 of an inch all the way down the page off of every Superman page. And then you're set. That's it. It takes about, I'd say 5 minutes to do both books. When you flip from front to back, all clowns. Flip from back to front, all Superman. So there you go. That's how you cut the catalog books. So now, let's move into the Cool Ghoul Gang Halloween coloring book. This one's a little more difficult, but it's not that hard. So here's what you're gonna do. This is my my helpful diagram for you. So here's what you're gonna do. When you open the page, the first thing you're gonna get to, or open the cover, you're gonna have a black and white picture of a vampire. Don't cut the black and white picture. You were going to do 3 rounds of cuttings. This first round, don't cut any plain black and white pictures. So there's a black and white vampire. Don't cut it. Skip it. Every page between there, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more, 5. So there's 5 pages between that first black and white vampire and the black and white witch. Again, do not cut the black and white drawing over here. Do not cut the vampire. All you're doing is cutting every page in between the black and white drawings. And what you're going to do, it's sort of hard to see, so I drew a little diagram. On all of those pages, you're just going to cut a little slit right along the edge of the page, the top edge of the page. So this is the top of the book. You're going to cut it just like that, right down the edge of that page. Now it might be hard to see, but that's what it looks like. They were all cut right along that edge. So that's the top of the page, and that's what you're going to do all the way through. So don't cut the black and white vampire. You're going to cut every page between the black and white vampire and the black and white witch. Again, skip the black and white witch. You're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages, and then we have a black and white zombie. Don't cut that one. And same thing, every page in between those 2 black and white drawings, you're going to cut that same slit right off the top edge of that page. And I'll just show you one more time what that looks like, if I can get to it. So there it is right there. It's that top slit right along that edge of that page. And then just for completion's sake, don't cut the zombie. Don't cut, the next one is the ghost. You're gonna cut that top edge or top slit off of that corner of those pages in between. Again, don't cut the ghost. Next up is or don't cut the black and white ghost. Next up, you're gonna flip until you get to the black and white devil. Don't cut the devil, don't cut the black and white ghost. Every page in between, slit right off that corner. And then after the devil, you will get to Frankenstein's monster, black and white. Every page in between, cut that little slit off that top corner. I'll show you one more time. There you go. There it is, cut off that top corner. And then finally, every page after Frankenstein's monster, you're going to do the same thing because that's all that's left. So just cut that same slit off of the remaining pages. That's the first round of cutting. Round 2, you are going to flip you're going to flip 1 page, 2 page, until you get to the first bloody page. So this time, ignore what we did last time. You are not going to cut any bloody page. So any bloody page, do not cut. So the 2 pages before that, we have the black and white vampire and a blank page. We're going to cut basically kind of a semicircle off of the middle edge of that page. So right here, just like a little crescent moon. And let me see if I can show you in the book. You can kind of see it right there. Cut right out of the center of those 2 pages. Just a little half circle. So that is your first cut. And remember, that is all the pages, the 2 pages leading up to the first bloody page. Don't cut this bloody page. Skip it. And then you're going to go all the way to the next bloody page. All the pages in between, exact same thing. You're going to cut the little semicircle out of the middle edge of that page, of all of those pages. So right there, all of them just like that. And then we'll go through quickly just to show you, don't cut the witch with the blood. Skip ahead a few pages until you get to the next bloody page. It's a zombie. Same thing, cut a little semicircle right out of the, a little slit right out of the middle of those edges of those pages. And then don't cut the zombie bloody. Then we have the next one is the ghost that's bloody. Same thing, every page in between, cut the little slit right out of the middle of the page. Skip the bloody ghost, don't cut it. Next is the bloody devil. Cut the slit out of every page except for the bloody devil. And then the next one up is the bloody Frankenstein monster. That covers almost the entire page. Every page between those 2, cut the little slit out of the middle of the page. And then finally, after the bloody Frankenstein monster, every page after, cut that same slit right along that edge. So now, what we have, after the first round of cuts, if you flip at the top, we show just the black and white pictures. If there is an issue, if you flip through and maybe you see a bloody picture, or you see a colored picture, you need to cut the little slit that you did at the top of the page a little bigger because it's just your thumb is hitting it. So then if you flip in the middle, with the middle cuts that we just did, we only show the bloody pages. So now for the third round of pages, the page cuts, this time, there's a dog barking, you're going to ignore the actual colored in pages. So every page other than the colored in page, that's what you're going to cut. So the first thing we're going to do is flip all the way to the colored in vampire. Every page before that page, so every single page before that colored in vampire, you're going to cut exactly like the first round, except at the bottom edge of the page. So this is the bottom edge of the page. You're going to cut the slit just like that, right at the bottom edge. And that, let me see if I can show you. That is on the bottom edge. There it is. Can you see that? Maybe not. Let me make it so you can see it. And that's right there at the bottom edge of those pages, right there. So do that to all the pages before the colored in vampire. Now we're going to flip to the witch that's colored in. Don't cut the witch. Don't cut the colored in vampire. Every page in between, you're going to cut that same slit right off the bottom edge of the page. And let me just show you on the little diagram one more time. Just like that, right at that bottom edge. That's where you're going to cut it. And then for completion's sake, let's just quickly go through it. Don't cut the colored in witch. Don't cut the colored in zombie. Every page in between, cut a little slit right off that bottom edge. Don't cut the colored in zombie. Don't cut, what's next? Oh, the colored in ghost, which is basically a tongue, but that's fine. So don't cut the zombie, don't cut the colored in ghost. Every page in between, a little slit at the bottom. Skip the ghost. Skip the colored in devil. Every page in between. Do the little slit right there at the bottom. And then, of course, skip the devil. Go to the Frankenstein's monster. Every page in between. Let me see if I can show you. Is just a little slit right off of the bottom edge. And then finally, every page after the colored in Frankenstein's monster, which I think we only have like a couple of pages. Yep, we only have one page. This is an extra page that the printer puts in there. But that one too, just go ahead and cut off that little strip right there at the bottom of the bottom edge of the page, because we don't want to flip to that. So now, with all of those cuts, we have a book that is only colored in monsters. And so that's it. You should be done now. You have all black and white images. If you flip in the middle, you have all bloody images. And then finally, you have all the colored in monsters. So there you go. I hope that was clear. When I get my book in the mail, I can make a little better video actually cutting along with you, but it's really easy. You could probably figure it out. So that's what we're at, 11 minutes and 30 seconds to cut both rounds of books. This first set you could probably cut in about 5 minutes. This one, just, I would say, take your time with it and do it in 10 minutes. You could do it in 5, but do it in 10 just to be sure you cut it right, and then it's easy. You got it done. So that's it. That's how you cut the books. I'm glad you guys are enjoying them, and if you have any thoughts and ideas, please, by all means, post them. Thanks, guys, and keep an eye out. I will definitely make another video with this one when I get it in the mail so that you can see it. Okay, bye.